winding in or weaving in the Rosicrucians and their alchemy. And you're like, well, you could say, well, times were different back then. Times were different back then. No, times were not different back then, back in antiquity. Times were exactly the same. People didn't know any better. Someone had an idea that worked, and then they expounded upon that. But then when you are using so many antibiotics on a human, you deform them, you destroy them, and then you have to be even more strategic on how you use antibiotics on people. And so then, yeah, they may have perfected the antibiotic usage, the immunotherapies and all of that, and there's countless experiments, and that's why people end up with their deficiencies and their disabilities, but then they are then said, oh, well, that was just the lot that you had. But no, it was all the experiments. It's all the experiments. I'm trying to perfect the perfect antibiotic, the perfect genetic engineering, so you don't feel the pain, so you don't evolve. You stay someone who is immature and a child, and then you're programmed. And then you see now people dropping like flies from this COVID-19. People dropping like flies because they can't handle the change in the environment. And so I'm saying children run the fucking world. Children run the world. And they are not mature. They're aging out, and they've perfected manipulations. Just like the children in your house who figured out how to beat mommy and daddy at their own game. That's why the movies showed the parents being stupid. Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris was freaking smart. He manipulated not only his principal, but also his parents. And so even the movies tell you that the parents are stupid, and the kids know how to strategically fuck with the parents and actually beat them at their own game. Because parents start breaking down. Kids are smart, but they've been dumbed down by all the different antibiotics. And so now you have kids who stay children and then get programmed by academia and by the system. And then they're called mature adults. Oh, you should revere this. Here's the Nobel Peace Prize. Here's your advanced degree. And so then people who are still children who've been programmed by the system think that they're all that because they have a PhD, a bachelor's, or some kind of certification, and they deem themselves a fucking god when they're actually destroying society and themselves. That's why I have an issue with academia. That's why I have an issue with politics, religions, and all scientific dogmas, because we're taking everything back to Imhotep and the immature children way back then running the fucking world back then and even today. But now children look more mature. Now children have been programmed to look sexy. And the children that get experimented on to such an extent, they get maimed by the system, by their doctor dads and doctor moms, or by the experiments from biotech. And then they're like, oh, well, we're sorry, but we'll try to make your life better. It's your superpower. And so children have messed up society. Adult children have messed up society. 81-year-old children like Dr. Fauci has messed up society. All the different PhDs and doctors that are in the hospital system and the nurses and all the holistic professionals have messed up society with all of their antibiotics or tinctures or immunotherapies, all their different over-the-counter drugs, their remedies, all their essential oils. They have fucked up society. And now the New World Order is now trying to clean it up with employing aggressive virus, which, okay, fine, but then raising the frequency so then all of your predisposed issues come to the surface and you won't have a chance to get ahead of all the cell replication, all the infection. And that's why people are dropping like flies from heart attacks, strokes, can't even handle the water because the water's full of microbes. So they can't even go and swim in a lake or go save somebody in Kentucky from the floodwaters because they're exposed to aggressive microbes. And so watch your friends. I had people die that I've known for years. They could have survived this world if it wasn't for such the aggressiveness of COVID and then the frequencies. But then they were also buying into, oh, I got to go and exercise and diet and do this, this, and that, and play the holistic allopathic game, of which didn't do anything for them except weaken them. So when a new variant came through, it destroyed them. And they died peacefully in their sleep, surrounded by their friends and family. And so I can't wait to write this part. Children run the world. It's from Imhotep to Hammurabi to Hippocrates, the Rosicrucian order. And the Rosicrucian order runs academia. Pejoratively, they're known as the Illuminati. Intellectually, they're known as the Freemasons. And they know they've made the mistakes. They are the ones that developed the Georgia Guidestones because they know how messed up what they did in the medical system and the holistic system, doing countless experiments, messing up generations of people. And so then I'm saying humanity takes medical advice from children. And of course, religion is everywhere. Man is God. And then, let me tell you, I'm going to figure out how to weave in everything together. And it's not going to be super long because I don't need to go into all the rabbit holes of all the civilizations in between Imhotep to King Tut to Narmer to, the rise and fall of the Hittites or whatever. No, it's going to be very focused. Imhotep, Hammurabi, Hippocrates, whatever, Rosicrucian order, pejoratively known as Illuminati, intellectually known as the Freemasons, and then we are taking advice from fucking children of antiquity, using the antibiotics, all the immunotherapies, all the diets, the tinctures, the antibiotics, and countless experiments in biotech, and we have fucked up generations and generations of people, and people aren't surviving the new world. And we have kids that are deteriorating from the inside because the amount of replication from all of their immature B cells, from the protection, the antibodies from their immune system when they're exposed to all these variants and the high heat, so it's causing cell replication, and their immune system, their alimentary canal is atrophied, so all those little antibodies are cannibalizing them, breaking down their infrastructure, so when they go and play soccer, their bones are breaking. And you have elderly, bones are breaking. You have the immunocompromised, can't even survive the night out. You have people fighting for their life in the hospitals, on ventilators because they can't keep up with the mucus. The fact that I opened up my alimentary canal, the fact that I understood the power of salt water and then getting off of that and then understanding I have to cough everything out. I have to open up my own fucking asshole to release the poop and the demons and all that stuff. Demons like mucus and mycoplasma. And then I had to eat and I had to sit with the pain. If I hadn't done that, I would have been dead by now, or had some kind of cancer, be on a ventilator, or have lymphoma, or have cancer. I dodged at least 5 bullets the last 6 years of my life. I've dodged 5 bullets because I stopped taking cues from the fucking medical holistic system. I stopped listening to children. I have more experience than fucking Imhotep. I have more experience than most people out there because they're so stuck in giving their body away to science. They're so stuck in worshiping someone with a fucking degree that they stopped growing, they stopped evolving, they stopped maturing, and they're still a kid giving themselves away to the nearest stranger who says, I'm going to save you. I'm going to save you. And then we've put so much of revering people with PhDs. No. You're just regurgitating. You're just a trained monkey. People in academia, they understand certain parts of the world, but they don't know how to put it all together. There are so many blank spots and so many blind spots. And then they think that they should get some kind of accolades because they finished their degree. They finished their PhD. They still died anyways. Their fucking degree didn't help them. That's what I get so pissed off at people who revere someone with an academic degree, because guess what? You're dead. So all that studying, all the student loans and everything that you ever put your money in your mouth or whatever did nothing for you because you ain't around anymore. And so now it's time for humans to evolve. Now it's time for humans to stop listening to those from antiquity who are only less than 20 years old, that only know how to cut out fucking disease, who only know how to use antibiotics, anti-life protocols, who are afraid of the salt, who's afraid of salt water, who's afraid of feeling pain. It's time for us to get away from those people who choose not to evolve. And there's a reason why they took away 12% of the sodium chloride in the food supply, because then you can't salt in and you're definitely not going to salt out. And so all the little antibodies in your body are going to eat away at you, and you're not going to be able to release it because you don't have enough energy in your body because you're on low electrolytes. And that's why there's so much disease. That's why you may not have COVID, but you have another shape-shifting disease. And just like happened with Ashton Kutcher, he had an autoimmune disorder that was triggered by the COVID to where he couldn't walk, talk, speak, or eat, or he couldn't walk, talk, or hear, or taste. It took him a year to relearn how to fucking live. He's lucky he has money and he had a team of people to help him with whatever. I'm sure they used countless amounts of antibiotics on him. So imagine someone who doesn't have the team of people that Ashton Kutcher has. And then they get exposed to COVID and then, oh my God, it's going to then preempt or wake up vasculitis of where then the person can't fucking eat, or they can't hear, they can't sleep, or they can't see, they can't taste, they can't do anything. And then people will probably give up. And some people who live alone that may have vasculitis, they won't have anyone around them to figure out what's going on, or someone will come in, or who knows. I feel for anyone that has lurking diseases in their immune system, just waiting for the new virus and frequencies to wake it all up. And now they have a diagnosable condition. I feel bad for the people that don't preempt their situations and face the demons. I feel bad for them because now they're waiting for the environment to take them out. And so, yeah, we're taking cues from children. We are listening to children for medical advice. And just because you happen to be 81 years old doesn't make you any more credible when you're listening to a 20-year-old called Imhotep way back in antiquity in the Egyptian days. So no, I'm not impressed with any doctor, any nurse, anyone, any licensed professional. I'm okay with the researching of the terms and concepts and definitions, but as far as the solutions and the problems that they deem as a solution and problem, I do not listen to someone who takes cues from children. And there's my husband. I'm out. Bye.